Sunset, love, drama, bitches.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the podcast. Today we're doing relationships free, but for the first time we have a girl in the studio. This is Amina. We both study architecture together. We're doing our masters in architecture, right? Big difference between masters and undergrad. And today having a girl in here is really important to the fundamentals of a relationship, because it's one thing me and Jose are sitting down and just talking about what males think. It's another actually having a girl in the studio. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for making time. We have tried to get this on a few different times, but we're busy with studies, so it's finally worked. I'm going to drop a statement on you first. Let me know what you think, and then we'll just flow through there. No pun intended. I think these days, the way relationships are changing through social media, guys are actually struggling more. And it's getting to a point where a handful of guys get most of the attention from the majority of girls, because girls can be more choosy, because they get much more people, much more guys approaching them consistently. I mean, any girl that has an Instagram account probably is just sick and tired of constant DMs and stupid stuff. But it doesn't matter. That's not the point. It has to be personal. But what do you think about that? I think men are losing out and girls, in a sense, are thriving more, but having to deal with many different options, which isn't always good.
Okay, when you say losing out, what do you mean?
I think, like I said, a small minority of guys are getting most of the attention because girls can be more choosy these days.
Yes. But, no, it depends, because it's like, okay, so the types of guys that typically DM girls are the ones that they'll message but don't want to put the effort in, so it's very lazy. But I feel like if you have the same types of guys, like, you know, how do I put this? Like, you know how they are, so you don't approach them. So girls typically don't go for them guys. Whereas, let's say the good guys, how do I put it?
Good is very loosely defined.
Yeah, okay, good as in...
Let's make sure it's a bit close to you, 1 second.
I know.
That's fine.
Good as in the ones that genuinely put effort in. Because if you're going to put effort in with a girl, she's obviously going to talk to you. You know that. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to say, hey, how are you? Or reply to a story.
No, but actually, I think it depends. Okay, here's what I mean when I say most guys are losing out, right? It's a big statement to start on, but here's what I mean. Because a girl can be more choosy, if she's dealing with 100 strangers, why should she put in the same level of effort into 100 strangers? So she's going to look for the guy that's more attractive, that seems more successful, that has better social skills. This is what I mean when I say guys are losing out. 100 guys send a message, 80 of them will get ignored easily. That might be because they're saying stupid things. It might also be because of more shallow reasons, and you can't blame the girl in that sense. If she only knows you over a screen, what else does she have to go on?
Yeah, that's true.
See what I mean?
Yeah. But I feel like, okay, the first opening line that you send out is the main thing. Like, let's say you're less successful than somebody else that's gonna approach the girl.
Right.
It's how you talk, how you approach someone. Right. So even if the girl is shallow, if you make her laugh, she might choose you over...
How do you make someone laugh over a DM? I've done it, but I'm just asking.
One-liner.
There was this one time when a girl actually ignored me. It was a few days, and I was like, hey, I think you forgot to reply. And she was just like... Now, long story short, this girl who, if she's listening, she knows who she is. We're just friends now. But like you said, sometimes you got to be a bit spontaneous. But most guys can't do that. This is my point. Most guys are losing out.
But you can't do the whole thing. Like, most guys, yeah, they lose out because you have to approach it how you would in person, though. You can't just, if everyone's going up to a girl and saying, oh, hi, I think you're pretty, blah, blah, blah. You got to stand out. That's the thing. Guys are losing out because I feel like the chase is the thing. So I know we're jumping, but like
the chase. The TV show.
I love that. No, but
I love how they're all fat on that show. Why? is that a measure of intelligence? I'm sorry.
No, the chase is in like, okay, so if she ignores you once, keep going. It's like,
really?
Keep going.
No way.
Yeah, keep going until you get blocked. But no. No, I don't know, Allah, like, you know what I mean. Sorry, Allah's in the frame.
Yeah, we got a third friend
in the back. But
no, it was a big statement to start on, not gonna lie.
No, because
there is no easy answer.
So for me, I I don't know. It's the commitment that if you keep texting, it's a bit like, oh wait a minute, like you're not like.
Isn't that also a put off though?
It depends. If it's like every single day or spamming,
Right.
then it's a turn off. Because I remember I had this one guy. Let me put this down. But I had this one guy where he was messaging. It wasn't every day, and I did air the first few times because I was thinking, okay, this isn't for me. He'd reply to like stories, but not of me, of things I do. So talk about my work ethic.
So he wouldn't just say, "Hey, sweet thing." What do you think?
No.
Okay.
No,
So he was a bit smarter than the average guy.
but it was every so often. It was like I'd forget about him, but right when I'd forget about him, a day later he would be back, and I'd be like, oh, I remember this guy. Do you understand what I mean? So it's more attractive in the sense that it's not on your ass basically.
So
But
I picked up two things from that. He's not being he's not being overly
needy,
annoying.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's not
not
being
needy.
annoying or needy. He can take rejection because you've ignored him and he didn't care
Yeah.
about it, which is important actually. A lot of men and women don't know how to take rejection. Thirdly, instead of just replying to your posts or your pictures, he replied to things that actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because if you do reply to a girl like, "Hi, you look really pretty," what's she supposed to say?
Like,
"Oh
well,
yeah, hi,
thank
how's your
you."
mum? How's your dad?" Like,
I
what's
just say
she?
thank you and then
Yeah,
go with
exactly.
it,
But
don't
that is all she can do. And then a guy will go back to his boys and be like, "Nah, bro,
Nah,
all she
she's
said is
dead,
thank
she's
you."
dead.
Yeah,
She's dead.
yeah. So again, it's the social aspect, isn't it? It's the social skills.
Like, be honest, okay. So let's turn it on you. If
On
you
me.
had a girl
If I had a
that
girl.
was, let's say you liked, but you were just too busy to do anything, right, with it. But she was coming to you. She reacted to your stories.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Would you be attracted to that by just loose effort, like, or like I don't know, like a fire emoji to your work? Or
Firstly,
something,
just context. She knows a lot about my life, so I can see
Yeah.
her. She's putting things in there.
I'm like,
Okay. Seriously, a serious point. My last relationship, which I think was actually like, okay, a really good relationship, lasted quite a
Special.
while. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about my ex. That's actually how it started. She messaged me. But at the same time, I didn't think straight away, oh, this girl likes me. That's first. And even if that was true, I didn't think like that. I kept things casual and normal. And I also made it easier for her so that she didn't regret messaging me in a sense.
Yeah.
So when she DM'd me, I kind of made it easier on her by also engaging. So then, but the funny thing is, it's different with me and my ex, because from that first day when she messaged me, we did not stop speaking until the day of the breakup.
Yeah.
So for us, we kind of, you could say we
But
just
yours
wanted to
was
speak
that-
to each
yours
other
was that
anyway.
chemistry. Yours was
There was genuine chemistry, but to put it in a more general sense, like what do I do if a girl approaches me? Again, I speak, I guess, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, but if she's just a fire emoji to your work or
See what she's picking at things.
no.
Okay,
but like,
okay,
you understand
I'll
what I
be
mean?
honest.
Like,
No,
it's
I've said
it's
this.
not
I've-
attractive.
I've said this to you. Yeah, that's true. I've had girls do that to me where it's like, I know they want to talk, but they don't want to make it look like that they want to talk.
But
So they'll respond to something, and then when I reply back, they'll reply in like 10 hours, and I'm just like, if you want to talk to me, let's be adults about it.
it's attractive to know that you're wanted.
Right, but it's also attractive to know how you're wanted. Like I said, it's one thing if you blatantly want to talk to me, but you want to deliberately, consistently keep messaging back 12 hours later, then why are you interacting with me in the first place?
I think no, with girls, like that's not even like it shouldn't be a thing.
But it is.
It's like an embarrassment thing. Like girls get embarrassed, and then they're like, okay, if a guy replies late, they're like, okay, let me spend the same amount of time not replying.
But I don't do that. I don't reply to anyone in
yeah,
10
but
hours.
we're like we don't do that
Because I'm always on my phone, and I'm
yeah.
genuinely always on my phone.
like we'll just tap on it and we'll reply, but like, it's
Yeah.
not that deep. But to some people, when they feel like, what's the word? Not that they are shy, but they feel like
Shyness is a big thing.
yeah, shy and like when you feel like someone's out of your league as well.
I don't
Sometimes
think
it
that's a good
happens.
mentality for guys or girls.
No, I mean guys. I think girls have it. I used to have it.
Do you think guys are at your league?
Yeah.
But you do know that most guys are petrified of girls anyway. No, it's actual facts. Like,
Yeah, but like I don't know, we don't think like that. Like when you like someone, you're automatically like, it didn't have to be like you fancy someone, you're automatically like kind of scared, like, oh, what if it goes wrong? It's that fear of rejection that you shouldn't have,
Yeah.
but you automatically have. Do you understand
Okay.
what I mean?
That fear of rejection that you have.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. So like, if you like someone and you're like, okay, let me text them, but you overthink texting them, so you're like, okay, let me not be too eager in case it's too much. Do you understand what I mean? So that's the thing with girls, but like, I feel like we should know as girls that guys don't really care. Like, few guys get that attention from girls, right?
Yeah, that's what I was
It's not-
saying.
it's
A small
rare.
majority of guys
It's rare,
are
like,
getting most of the attention.
yeah, so like, I think those are the girls that have got the balls to talk. Like, I know I've done it with guys before, and like, obviously the rejection is not nice, but
Go on.
again, it's best to know that you're wanted. Do you know what I mean? Any guy's gonna like you.
But then wanted to what extent? Because I'm not gonna lie. Okay,
Wanted to
yes,
get
it's
to know
nice.
someone,
That's nice, but then to what extent? How much do you want to get to know me? If it's not a relationship, I don't really care.
Mm.
Like, come on, look, me and you.
No, but you gotta make that known.
Me and you, yeah, but straight away. Look, me and you are in similar paths, right? We're doing a master's in architecture. We live in the library or the student life building
Student
in our
life building.
case, right? Like, I'm not trying to sound weird, but do I have time for that?
Exactly. No, but like, oh, let's be honest, right? If someone's DMing you, they're not gonna DM you to say, oh, your work's nice. You know what I mean?
Wait, can I be real? And I'm not even gassing. I'm not trying to make myself out like I'm some next guy who constantly gets attention. But one way that I know girls are trying to get my attention is like, oh, I've listened to your podcast. And I'm like, no, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, you
And if you
haven't.
have, you listen to it for 5 minutes. And then you know when they're lying, when they're like, oh, yeah, so I've listened to all of them.
Even I've not listened to all of them.
Yes, yeah. No, listen. Guys and girls, they have, I guess, weird methods in approaching these days, but that's the point I keep going back to. Guys are losing out drastically.
No, but
Girls
guys
aren't.
use Snapchat. It's like, oh, have you got Snap? And it's like, how old am I, first of all? I don't even use it for my friends. Like, and then you have to like push them over and be like, oh yeah, Snapchat is for family and friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have to. You could just say no.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not nasty enough.
I get you.
There's stush, and then there's just like politely declining, I guess.
Personally, I think a guy or girl, no, you don't owe anybody any reply. I always say this to my friends, guys or girls.
Yeah.
You don't owe anybody anything. If you would like
Unless
to,
you feel like you know them.
okay, that's different. If I personally know you, I'm not.
You're not gonna.
Even if it's like not a personally know, like for example, we have X amount of people in our studio classes. If one of them randomly messages me, I'll be more inclined to speak to them than I would be a random person. That's not to be taken personally. Like we talked about the rejection thing, right?
Yeah.
People are scared to get rejected. But sometimes it's because everyone takes it personally. Like, you don't know why I might be ignoring you. If a girl is ignoring you, she's probably she might be in a relationship. Like my ex constantly used to get messages and then other messages like, rah, why are you not talking? You're being stalked, blah, blah, blah. And she would just tell me and like we'd laugh about it. But, like, these guys are taking it so personally. You're in a relationship. Just because you've not made that public doesn't mean that guys have to assume every time you air them it's something on them. It's
Yeah.
not.
I feel like I don't know. Guys are very like some guys are very
Insecure?
forward with it, and they are insecure. So like I had one another day. I'm not gonna go into deep about it, but like someone was like, oh what did I say? Oh yeah, Snap, and then I was like, oh sorry, I don't use my Snap, blah blah blah, and then he was like, oh then I should get your number then. At that point I was like, I need to get to know you too, because like again, it's not like pride or anything. Well, architecture students, like we give out like numbers for work, all that crap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Work, friends, family, blah blah blah. But like I left that on scene, and the guy was like, "Oh, left it on scene, like it's like that, huh?" And I was like, "It's not
Taking
that
it
deep.
personally for
it's
no
not that
reason.
deep."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be maybe he was in love with you.
This
Would you accept the proposal?
no.
He might be coming through the studio right now with a ring.
He dated my friend for a couple of years, so maybe,
Okay,
yeah.
okay
It's a sticky-
then.
Nah, man.
It's a sticky
nothing
one,
that-
isn't it?
It's no attraction anyway. So.
Yeah. See, like the word you just used, attraction. If
yeah,
you're
yeah.
if you're talking about strangers, then attraction, something has to be there. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Again, I go back to the point.
But again, for girls, you can be attracted to like an ugly dude, kind of. Like
But then
Ala, you
because-
know what I mean. So, sorry, Ala's out there again, but so girls, that's what I said. Like, you know, if there's a funny guy and he's not that good looking,
Right.
if you're funny and can make me laugh, that is so endearing.
Well,
like,
I need to ask this because
Go on.
for me, I don't get it. I'm quirky and lively, as you guys know,
Yeah.
but I don't pride myself on being funny, even if I am.
Yeah.
My point is, why the hell do girls care about being made to laugh?
Because it
'cause
just
to
makes
me-
you feel good around
But
somebody.
there's a lot of ways to make people feel good.
Yeah, but like emotionally, like let's say if like it's like that
I've
thing.
never
Where would you
underst-
want to be?
Oh.
Like, would you want to be in a type of room where you're laughing away and joking, or would you want to be like, do you get it? Like dead silent. You wouldn't.
I do get what you're trying to say. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
as a guy, look, I do the same thing. I'm not going to be dead if I'm sat down with a girl.
Yeah.
I am going to try and be funny about it. So I agree with what you're saying. I just don't understand
You
why
don't understand
funniness
it,
is
okay.
important. To me, it's not a very attractive trait.
Yeah, but you have a good time when someone laughs in it. Like, do you understand what I mean? Like,
Right.
Like, if I had a guy in front of me and he constantly made me laugh, it'd be like, oh, this guy is like, we're having a good time. Do
Okay,
you know
let
what I
me
mean?
throw a spin ball.
Go on.
When girls find a guy attractive, everything he says is funny.
Oh, it's
See,
not
Alan knows.
necessarily-
It's true.
Not necessarily, trust me, I've been with the...
No,
No.
but I thought you would. I would assume, or
I date guys that looked, like, that were obviously good looking, but I've dated a few
But my
that
point
weren't.
is, if you have a guy in front of you that you like, won't you laugh at all his dead jokes anyway? That's my point.
No, but I'm that type of person. Okay,
You
this
don't.
is just me.
Okay.
But, like, I'm that type of person that, like, if you're good looking and you're funny, if there's no, like, not essence, if there's not, like, an individualness, like, to you, if you're just, like, oh, what you say, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
road man,
that-
like, it's not attractive, so I don't, like, even though
You
you're
heard it
fit,
here.
even though you're fit, do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Okay. So we've talked about the initial attractiveness, and we've talked about what people do through social media. We'll come back to it, but I want to actually delve into relationships, and I want to ask you, as a girl, how would you deal with jealousy?
Okay, so I feel like we're having a conversation, like, the other day, but...
Yeah, me and you always have these conversations. When before she came on, she was like, "It's nothing to prep for. These are our
These are
conversations."
literally our conversations, but no, but it's down to communication. I have to say that, like,
Mm.
if you've had a guy, I was gonna say, oh, me in my life, blah blah blah. It's not about me, but let's say theoretically, you had a guy. He was telling you not what he's up to, but it's nice to know what your other half is doing. Do you know what I mean? Like updates,
Okay.
right? Or even if, like, let's say, you know how you said your ex, right?
Mhm.
She had guys come, like, DMing her.
Yeah, all
and
the
you'd
time.
know about it, right?
Yeah, she told me. Yeah.
You'd laugh about it,
Yeah.
right?
I never
Is
felt.
there any jealousy
I
then?
always used to tell
Exactly.
her, I'd be like, "You're an attractive girl. You're gonna get messages."
Yeah, but is there any, there's no jealousy in
There
that.
was never any
Exactly,
jealousy
so
when it
that
came to
is-
that.
That's good communication. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So any time where in a relationship there's good communication, I don't think you're gonna feel jealousy.
Okay.
Unless you're insecure in yourself. Unless you think like you're not doing a good enough job for your significant other half. Do you know what I
Like
mean?
you think she'll or he'll go on to something better, or so definitely a lack of self-worth in that
Yeah,
sense.
like I feel like it's that cringy thing. It's not really cringy, but it's very true. You gotta love yourself before somebody loves you. Not even love, but you've gotta like yourself
Yeah.
before somebody's gonna be into you. Do you understand
I
what I mean?
certainly didn't believe that up until recently, but I've always naturally been very hard on myself, so that was everything in
Yeah.
my life.
But it depends. Like, you necessarily don't have to be completely happy with yourself, and it'll be like your match that will double up on your job too. As in, like, they'll make
Yeah,
up for
it's
it.
like
I mean,
it's
it's
the
not that healthy.
reassurance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that healthy,
Yeah.
but it can work for some couples. Do you know
Everyone
what I mean?
needs reassurance, though. Like,
Yeah.
I personally think
So you answered your question yourself. Reassurance and good communication. What are you looking
reassurance and good communication, indeed. I was looking for my phone, then I realized we were recording with it.
for?
Silly me. Okay. I think we've touched on jealousy quite well there. Now, how do you guys deal with a girl who's a bit more out there? Because now look, there's the... Okay, so look, I talked about my ex getting messages all the time, but she's also relatively low-key. But then what if the girl is out there? What if she's always posting? What if she's always getting extra attention from a guy? It's not her fault, but how does she reassure him? How does he deal with that?
She doesn't have to open the messages. Why would you open them? You wouldn't. If a girl genuinely doesn't care, you wouldn't open them. Do you understand what I mean?
Right.
You'd know, and then you like, I know girls that, like, the girls that are like 10, they don't answer their messages and the fellas know. I don't like the whole thing of like, you know, keeping passwords and stuff. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
But some people need it. It's up to you. But I don't really believe in that. Yeah, like if you don't answer the message, and if you let your guy know, I'm not asked about these, I'm only asked about you, or forget them kind of thing.
Then you're fine.
That's like reassurance again.
Yeah, personally, whenever my ex was getting a shit ton of messages, I almost took it as a compliment, as everyone wants my girl.
Yeah.
So I,
yeah.
I looked at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
There were obviously, within a long relationship, there'll be turbulence, and there were moments of whether it be jealousy or whatever between me and her, but that's natural. But for the most part, I think that part went well. Although we're not here to talk about my previous relationships.
But this is what I mean. Like,
not
whenever we
plural.
get to talking, it turns personal because we know each other like
we
that.
do,
innit?
we
Yeah.
do, which is fine for the podcast.
It's
I think it makes
normal.
for a great podcast.
No, it's fine. But what was I saying? Like, yeah, again, reassurance. If you have it, your relationship's fine. Do you know what I mean? You don't get
Okay,
jealous.
You threw a curveball at me. Let me throw one at you.
Go on.
It gets to a point where some things are more important than love.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So it depends. So yeah. So respect is one.
The song.
Beliefs.
R-E-S-P.
Stop.
The song.
God, stop singing. No. Respect is one. Beliefs. That's a big one.
Religion.
Yeah. Religion is a
What
massive
about-
one.
What about career paths?
Yes.
Because I know a girl
Yeah,
who was
that's
actually
something.
telling me recently that this wasn't the reason why she broke up with her current ex, but it was a big reason as well because she achieves a lot. She's hardworking, doing a degree while doing really well at her job professionally, whereas she had a man who was on the opposite scale, a bit of a hide your tax type guy, a bit of a doing a job that isn't really skill level type.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she said even though that wasn't the reason they broke up, it was a good thing that came from it because she's very career orientated.
It is a bit of a turn off now. So if I know that sounds really bad, but like, let's say for girls, if you're really career driven, I can't talk. But
Which you are, you're doing your master's in
yeah,
architecture.
like let's say me for example, right?
Let's
I
say
want
you.
to be I want to be an architect.
Right.
If my dude was, let's say, I don't know, doing not 9 to 5, doing a basic like retail job, let's say.
That would
you-
make you think otherwise about dating him because why?
You know, at the start it wouldn't, but when we got down to more important things like getting together, living together, and family, it does start to like weigh on you because you start to think, okay, I want this to be 50-50. Can it be 50-50?
Right.
His salary shouldn't be an issue, but when you start to think about like more important things like family, house, you know how much houses cost, it's ridiculous.
Raising
expensive,
kids
yeah.
is expensive.
That's what I mean. Like my
It is, it
niece,
really is.
like her nappy's tenner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was saying like it shouldn't matter, but it does matter eventually.
The
At
reason
the start,
why it matters is because
it's support, isn't it?
life is also about compromise, isn't it? Like, I can't just love you out of
Yeah.
emotion my whole life and
Yeah.
then take everything else away from me. So I can't love you, but then not be able to achieve everything I want in my life because you can't reach my level. Which sounds
Yeah.
rude, but I think guys or girls have a right to think that way.
You definitely do have a right because
If
at the
you
end of the day,
want-
like
go
no,
on.
relationships are 50-50. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it does affect it in the long run because like imagine I was earning as an architect doing freelance and my 9 to 5, right? And my guy was earning, let's say like 10 quid an hour, let's say, right? It'd help, but then at the end of the day, it'd be me that would be forking out for most of the stuff because it's a bit like.
Yeah.
And then that weighs on you because you're like, oh, I really want someone to help me out. I don't want to always be the comfort in this relationship because what do you have
Which
another
is
person?
why-
You need comfort.
Which
do you
is
know?
why there's no
Support.
secret to the fact that financially successful men sometimes do attract more attractive girls or
Yeah.
the girls that they want, let's say.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like as shallow as it might sound, there is a life out there to be lived.
Mm.
And if I want a stable family for my potentially 3 kids in a suburban area, then that's going to take a lot of money. And unfortunately, if you can't match my ambitions for my future, then maybe there's only so far this love can go because my love can't always stay in my student phase. My love has to go to that adult part of my life.
I think, like, okay, for me, I don't think I'd mind if, right, let's say someone, it doesn't really matter, like, how much someone earns, unless it's, again, what I said about, like, 50-50, like, you want to be, like, you want to be having help from somebody else. But if it feels the same as, like, if you feel loved, let's say, even talk about, like, gifts and stuff. Like, I know we're going off on a tangent, but, like, you can get something meaningful for someone even if you have little to no money. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So if it feels the same, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? It's only if it doesn't feel the same. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I get the shallow aspect of it, right? But if you're happy and it feels... Like, I know girls, my girls, like, literally, they're working. Some of their, like, husbands, some of their, like, boyfriends, like, they're literally just working in warehouses. But the fellas are still grafting, and they don't really see that much of a difference because... They do, like, date nights, go out, the guys save up, and do you know what I mean? Like, they do their bit, they pay for, like, shopping, flat rent and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, 50-50 weighing it out. So it doesn't matter if you're giving it your all.
So then that comes down to what you each want, because if you are both happy with an average life, then I suppose you can have that guy who works at a lower financial rate, but then... If, let's say, you personally are actually aiming a bit higher and you want to fall into that higher tax bracket, so to speak, then it's a problem because unless you push up and do something, which I think actually for any men who don't have degrees or career jobs, I think it's just as it's just as easy to be successful being an entrepreneur of some kind, opening up shops, cafes, anything.
You could literally open up, like, even a corner shop and make money. Do you know what I mean? Like a little mini mart or whatever you want to do.
And
like,
you'll make a shit ton of money.
Degrees are overrated. I know that's
Overrated.
another conversation, but we're slaving away for what?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then we have to slave away again when we get into the work field.
Like another 2 years. But it's like you can make money out of anything. But yeah, back to the relationship aspect of it. Like,
let's talk about religion though, because I think religion does get in the way of many relationships for good or for worse. That could be between religious, non-religious person, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Muslim, Shia, Sunni even. It doesn't
that's
even have...
harder than Muslim and, like, let's say Christianity, Muslim and
Do you
Jew.
think so?
100%. Like,
The Shia Muslim
fully...
part?
Yes, because it's like they're already... Oh, we're talking about Islam now. Basically, you're already in the faith, but you're conflicted on something else.
Are you conflicted
not, like,
or are you worried about losing the person you love?
No, I mean, like, you do Sunni and Shia. Like,
no, I understand, but that's my
yeah.
point. If the guy is Shia and the girl's Sunni, or whichever way around, are they actually trying to find out which is right? Or is one of them just saying, you compromise so I don't lose you?
Yeah.
Because family's going to butcher me or something.
But I feel we're very biased on which one we're thinking. But
which one's right? I don't know.
So that
it's a mystery out there. You don't know which we're Sunni.
But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I was saying, like, no, it's harder in the sense that, like, okay, so let's say it was Christianity and Islam, right? The religion thing can be an easy thing or a hard thing, right? If you're Islam. I hate this because we're kind of just going off like what we know about ourselves, but basically
it makes for a good podcast though, I'll say that much.
because I mean, we laugh too much.
This is much better than having a stranger in here. No offense to any strangers that want to be on the show, but
They're
it's
not
nice
gonna
when
come
you have when you have that chemistry.
No,
although I can talk to anyone. I can talk to a brick wall. That's how I talk to women. That's how I know I can talk to women.
What, in the cathedral? Lazo, we went to like a book signing and he talked to some lady in the cathedral. Like, she was full on like chatting to him, and he's just there like, oh yeah, so what do you do? Like, not interested, fully having a conversation.
How could I have been interested? You're like 65.
No teeth. What was it?
Some of us go to funerals to catch guys, but not me.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah.
You know, side note, there's this movie. It's called Bringing Down the House. It's Steve Martin and Queen Latifah. But there's this other character in there.
Steve Martin from like Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yes, the most amazing guy on the planet. And there's a particular character where all she does is date rich men. And there's a scene in the restaurant where they bump into each other because Steve Martin plays the ex-husband And this other lady, she plays the ex's sister-in-law. And Steve Martin's dissing her, innit? About when is this one gonna die? And the guy has a face like, what's that thing called? Oxygen mask at the dinner table.
I'm sorry.
The guy.
It's an Asian
The
song.
guy. Oh my god, the guy has an oxygen mask. It just makes.
No,
Remember
you
that
went on.
movie?
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, sorry.
Religion.
Talking about Sunni and
Dating
Shia
old
as well.
people.
Like, I feel like no, Sunni and Shia is harder because they're already in the faith, right? But I feel like Shias are very strong in their beliefs. Like, they're very passive aggressive as well. I'm
Do
sorry.
you think so?
Yeah. Like I had like Shia friends. Like I feel like they feel like it's disrespectful because the majority of us are Sunni. Or is it 80% of Muslims are Sunni and then it's like 20%? Not even 20.
I didn't
it's
even
less.
know that.
But yeah, 80% of Muslims are Sunni. But yeah, I was gonna say to you, I feel like it's harder for Sunnis and Shias to get along than it is like Muslims and Christians or Muslims and Jews.
Because if you have.
No, but I'm only saying this because I have friends that dealt with the whole Sunni and Shia thing. But the whole issue of religion is if you are open-minded as a person, that is going to be easy for you as a couple to overcome, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, of course it is because
Well, it depends how religious you are. If you are. Okay, here's the thing, right?
religion is only matters if you're planning to be religious with your other half. Like otherwise
It's a
it's
formality.
a non-issue.
Otherwise
Yeah,
it's a formality.
It's just take it off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's people that convert for people just to get married. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But
But like you said, if they're not religious anyway, then it's just a formality and who cares?
that's what I mean. You could just get married at that point. Like, what's the point?
A lot
But
of people do that.
yeah, but I'm saying like if you are religious, depends. So like, if someone's willing to research, you should go with it. But we know in all cases, like in some
I wasn't even
cases-
laughing at this point. It was
I'm
you.
I'm looking at you because I'm
Yeah.
laughing.
What did I do?
But no,
I ain't
if
saying
you're
nothing.
open-minded as a couple and you're willing to research, right, you will meet like you'll find a common ground. You know what I mean? Because you want to be together.
It becomes that cliche, doesn't it? Like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
It's not even a cliche. It's true though, isn't it? Like
Do you believe that though?
yes, you believe.
I
that,
struggle
yeah?
with it. I struggle with believing if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Because I think effort also matters. I can't fully, like, I can't want to
No,
marry
but
you and not
you'll-
do anything about it my whole life.
No, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It doesn't mean that. It means you do your part
Mm.
and then let it go.
Okay.
You've done this before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I
And
have.
then let it go. That's what it is.
And
You're
if it comes
confusing.
back
You're
to-
confusing it with like just
Maybe I am confused.
Let's
with it.
just
Yeah, I
go.
probably am.
no, but like it's not like oh just completely let it go. Do what you want to do. Do what you feel like you have to do for your emotions,
Right.
and then let it go.
Play your hand and.
Yeah, you do your
Yeah.
bit. You let someone else know how you feel, and then let it go. But yeah,
I agree with that. I really do agree with
but that's what we mean when we say if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Is that hadith,
What if?
right?
What if? Go on. Sorry, Karen.
Sorry, is that hadith? What is it? A man came to the Prophet and he was like, oh, like Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, oh, what shall I do? I've got my camel here. I don't know if it'll. Is this thing like I don't know if it'll go away or something, or if it'll leave. And then this is approximate.
I
yeah,
thought you were gonna say
sorry.
wife, and then you said camel.
Because I read hadiths because like they're life lessons at the end of the day. But he said, what should I do? Like my camel's here. And then the Prophet was
I'm
like,
just laughing at the camel part. I don't know
sorry,
why.
you just
It's me. It's just me. I'm so sorry.
stop. He's like, shall I tie it or shall I just go and trust in God? The Prophet was
Oh.
like, no, tie your camel first
Okay.
and then go. Like you're gonna leave it in the middle of the
But that's just stupid, isn't it? It's like leaving your car unlocked and be like, why did it get robbed?
no, but he had that much faith in God that he was like, shall I just leave it? And then the Prophet was like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not disrespecting. We're just very like fun
No,
with
no,
it.
I fully had the wrong thing in mind. I'm there. I didn't know what to think.
No, but
It's like, how does this relate to marriage?
no, it's
No,
that.
I mean, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, like do your bit. It's like saying,
Yeah,
right?
do
Oh, I
best
want
you
an
can.
A in an exam. I'm not gonna do anything for it. Let me just make dua and it'll come out from the sky. You don't do that. Like you have to do your bit, revise, and then make dua. Be like, Allah,
I've tried.
yeah, I've tried. Do you know what I mean?
Tried so hard and got so far. But in the end,
Your songs, your gifts.
it doesn't even matter. Yeah, like I'm just out there with my. It's like Side note, this is like I need someone with my energy levels for the pop culture podcast, which will come out at some point. Movies, pop culture, all of that.
Yeah.
Could even have you back on it, to be honest. Okay, so we talked about religion and the importance of religion, and the lack thereof flexibility. We talked about jealousy. We talked about modern day relationships. Let's talk about marriage. Actually, before I take you on to marriage, something that I figured out in our last relationships podcast by doing the research is that the majority of breakups are actually instigated by women. And the
I
more
watched that, yeah.
educated a girl is, the more likely she is to leave her man. That is a bit
Why
of a
would you
sticky one.
settle though? It's about settling that.
But it's not even about, sorry to cut you off, it's not even about the idea that your man is lesser or equal to you. I
It's not
could
about
be
that.
more successful than my girl, but if she is career oriented, she's still more likely to break the relationship than I am. What do you think that comes down to? That's crazy.
That is crazy. But I just think like I don't know. It's gonna sound so. I know this is just gonna sound like I'm being very literal with it, but it's kind of like you go through a thought process, isn't it? You think, oh, do I feel like I can get better? Do you know what I mean? Or do I feel like someone's not?
But don't we all do that in a relationship? Especially if you have two successful people. Two successful, averagely good-looking people who are probably doing well in life, they're going to get attention. They're both going
Do
to
you
get
know- can I
attention.
say one
So why is
thing?
it the girl that breaks it off more often?
Because girls get more attention more often.
That's true.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Because all you men are simps. But that's not,
No, they're not. They're just
no,
horrid,
I'm not.
like-
I'm not a simp.
But no, girls get more attention more often. Guys, we get scared of guys like giving them attention, and because like it's a traditional thing, innit? Like I would prefer a guy to come up to me. I've never had a guy come up to me and be like, "Oh, excuse me," do you know what I mean? Only in the gym, and that was horrendous. But like, like it's girls do get it right, but guys, we won't ever go to a guy and be like, "Oh, how you doing?" That sort of thing, because it's not that common. Innit?
Girls do shoot that shot though.
Yeah, they try, but I don't know. I feel like whenever I've shot my shot, it's
Maybe you just
not
don't know how to shoot. The net's there and you're over there.
wrong basket.
You're
that's
playing
it.
the wrong game.
I think girls
Got-
have ego.
Girls do have an ego.
Oh,
as
men
well.
have more ego than girls.
Men do, yeah. I've seen so many guys like
I think it's just a
Even-
social norm for men to approach girls. It's not so much. I
guys
get what
are
you're trying
more
to say.
immature than girls, though. It comes to that whole thing of like some guys like they mature later on than girls. Because I've known like even my mates who I like sometimes hang around with, like they have this mentality: if a girl ignores you, oh, she's dead anyway. Oh, fuck her. Do you know what I mean? Oh, sorry for swearing, but
You can swear. It's fine.
yeah, like it's that whole thing of oh, she's dead. Oh, I didn't think like she wasn't that great anyway. Do you understand what I mean? Like
But that's the thing. Like,
that's maturity, though, innit?
it's this is why, like, for the most part, I don't ever approach a girl I don't know. Because if I know you in some way, it doesn't have to be on a deep level, but if I know you, it's automatically easier to instigate any form of communication. Like someone in my uni class, for example, it's easier to get communicate with them, get their number, maybe even get them out on a date. But if I don't know you and it's over a screen, then of course it's probably not going to work. Like, it's just common sense.
Yeah, the
Ironically, my
disadvantage,
relationship started through a screen. But that's not
most of them nowadays do, but
it's
like
because, isn't it? It's because like so many
it's
people out
convenience
there.
as well. How are you gonna meet so many people in real life? We're so busy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like we're limited to like what our immediate circle.
Like us three, Alan, Dylan, Yusuf. We see each other every single day. That's literally our bubble.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't. You know, like the granny in the cathedral. That's all. Do you know what I mean? Those are all like the people that we see. Otherwise, our only other form of communication, social media, Insta. Do you know what I mean?
So it becomes important to. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying I don't communicate with girls on Insta or anything like that.
Yeah.
I do understand that things can happen through there. I'm just saying it's just easier when you actually know somebody.
Yeah, and when you know them. Like,
And it's less awkward. Like even.
I find Insta awkward right now. Like I don't think I could. Like you know what it is. Okay, you said this right. You said there has to be like that level of attraction at first.
There has to be.
Like now, I don't think I've gone to. This is just after all the trauma, but now there'd have to be like some level of attraction before I start a conversation with somebody. If there isn't, I'm like, do you know what I mean? Also, I feel like guys are really horrible with posting photos. Like, guys look
We
worse.
just don't do it, I guess.
Guys look. No, you do, but like, you look worse in photos than you do in real life. I'm sorry. Like I'll see
they
a
don't know how
guy-
to take pictures, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I'll see a guy that like looks. Oh, sounds so stush in this, but like medium ugly. Like
5 out of 10?
Yeah,
4
and
or
then
5?
in person, like it's when you start talking, it's a bit like. Do you know what I mean? Like you're.
So you just realised you curved the 10 because you judged them.
Well,
on
I've
social-
not
'cause
had
you were
that
being
yet.
shallow.
I've not had that yet, but I feel like I'll have that. Somewhere down the line.
Mm,
Yeah, it's
okay.
like it's
Probably. All right. Not had that yet. Noted.
Stop.
What did I say?
Go on. You were saying something and I just butted in.
I say a lot of things. Johnny tight lips.
Oh, what was I saying? I had a point and I literally went off it.
We were talking about how you can't shoot. You're playing the wrong sport.
No, you know what it is, right? Guys, they say the same thing. Hey, how are you? Oh, have you got a snap? First of all, don't talk to a girl and say, have you got a snap? If you're over 20 as well. Bloody hell, like, do you know what I mean?
I wonder what they could be thinking. I wonder what
Yes,
they could be thinking.
and it's
Because
like,
it's always the same thing with Snap. I feel like a lot of guys actually think, because it's like, okay, we just mentioned that there has to be an
Face.
attraction there before you date somebody, and I agree with it. Just the other day on the train ride back, I was telling the guys how shallow I am, but it was a joke. It was a joke. But the point is the honest truth is, you can't really get yourself going for someone that, if you're going out of your way anyway, if you're busy as it is, then someone's got to give you something to
hold
reel
on
you
to,
in.
yeah.
But then beauty is subjective. And then there are people who are always trends, and then beauty for the most part is subjective.
Yeah.
But I also personally, my main thing with any girl I've ever been involved with is that natural vibe and chemistry. Like whether I can literally think of 5-6 girls top of my head that if I've either spoken to, one girl that I dated. But the point is, there's always been that vibe and chemistry. I don't like awkwardness.
But you have 10 tens off. Flipping dead.
I don't care. I'm gone.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you. Like, you should be gone, but like, I feel, yeah, that chemistry should be there. That's what I was
Like that
saying.
meme,
like,
the guy goes,
yeah.
and he just disappears. That's how
That's
gone
what
I
I'm saying,
am.
like, you know, if there was a guy who's beautiful, but he was dead, you'd be like, what the heck? Like, you've got to laugh with him. That's what I meant, laughing.
Or at least know that he has a brain and he can hold a conversation.
Yeah, man.
Instead of
If
just
it's
like,
oh yeah,
a
is
sweet
it?
tune,
Yeah.
what you
Don't
saying?
worry.
Yeah,
You got all of them. They're like, oh, what are you doing today? Don't worry. No, but that's what I meant. Like, I'm sorry, guys are funny to do like that. Like, just nab them like.
I get you.
Only because, right, you're not even your other half. The person you want to be like romantically like
Involved
with, yeah. You want it to be fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, if a guy can't take a joke, oh my god, that's the biggest turn off. Like, if he doesn't get your jokes, it's a bit like,
What if your jokes are dead?
right.
Are your jokes
we
dead?
can't be talking about me here because you know.
What should we be talking about then?
I mean, find another one.
Yeah, find another one.
Find another what?
It's another dude. Someone's
On
gonna
to the
find me.
next
by-
one. On to the next one. Okay.
Nah, I don't do that. But
People do that though these days.
bro, I just make everyone laugh right now, and then I'm just like,
But that's also another thing. Like, some people, whether it's guys or girls, just naturally have that better quirky personality. So again, that goes back to my point. 80% of guys are falling out to 20% of guys. But then you can't blame the 20% of guys. They got to do what they got to do. Because like, I see it as one thing, right? A lot of guys will say girls are trash or girls are shallow or, you know, she was a bitch, this and that. I think no, you have to give a girl a reason to be attracted to you. Whether that is your personality, your quirkiness, or your looks even, although that's just genetics. But you know what I mean? A girl has to have a reason. A stranger has to have a reason to take some interest in you. It's like when you're buying a product. You don't buy it for bants.
even if right.
You don't buy it because you feel sorry for the shopkeepers or customers.
Yeah, sometimes I don't.
Exactly.
Well,
Boss
you're
man.
like that. You're a boss man. You ain't sold nothing today. Give me 2
No,
e-cigs.
that's not us.
It's not me.
No, but
That's not me.
no, what I'm saying, like,
Chat to the girl now. That's not me.
not anymore. know anyway, masters.
Yeah, I'm behaving myself.
Yeah, man.
Never mind.
I mean, you need to get it all, but you know. with
Um,
that.
Well, it's because
When
you don't know
the-
what happened recently, but that's okay. We'll fill you in later.
You know, it's the thing as well. Like, you know, once I had this guy that was, he randomly probably stalked me. I did not mind
Stalked
that.
you
No, as in like
You didn't
stalk man.
mind?
No, it's not a Joe level stalker, man. I love you, but
outside your apartment
no, but
with the sign,
so he looked at
with the music,
I need
like
to.
a movie. What
No,
song do you think you'd play? Oh, I have a question. If a guy was to be outside your window playing one song, what song would it be?
Signs by Drake. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be there tonight. Go ahead. That's what I'm like.
I love that song.
Signs.
Yeah, or like Party Next Door. But his is they're really
Only
sad.
You is good.
Yeah.
Only You.
No, but his is all sad. So it's like no, his is breakup level, so we can't do Party Next Door.
Yeah. His
which
ex was
is-
Kalani. Remember when Kalani said she was
Yes.
going to commit suicide?
Oh.
Yeah. But then it was a love triangle tangent. There's a love triangle between Party Next Door, whose real name I don't know, Kyrie Irving and Kehlani.
She didn't cheat, you know.
I'm not
After
saying
she
she did,
No,
but
but after she did the suicide attempt, they found out that she didn't cheat. I found that so sad.
that tells you how toxic Twitter is because
that's-
everyone on Twitter was
yes.
like,
Twitter
and
is
Kehlani's young,
horrible.
by the way.
She
Kehlani's
is,
like
yeah.
our
She's so
age,
beautiful.
and we're talking.
Sorry,
She's
so
beautiful. I mean, if I had to pick, I'd pick Jessie Reyes, but that's just me.
They're all beautiful. You see what Iggy's done to her? I'm sorry, this is another tangent, but
Iggy?
like, yeah,
Iggy Azalea, I'm just
yeah,
not a big
yeah.
fan.
No, like I used to like her music, and then it was a bit trash, and then it's like people going off beauty standards, like. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
that is
mean?
the whole music industry. Like, think of the women that are famous. Even Adele's pretty. The music industry is so
She's
shallow.
beautiful.
Adele, Nicki has her features. Iggy, Jessie, Kehlani,
Tinashe.
Alyssa Cara is quite pretty.
Tinashe's
Tinashe,
beautiful.
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat's
It's like the
she's
world
part
is
Indian, you know.
the
South
world.
Asian.
What are you trying to say? The world is shallow. So how are we expecting people to not be shallow on a general level? Which is what we were just saying.
It's also like, sorry, we're going back to this guy, the stalker. But no, you didn't stalk me. You just went through my profile.
He's talking literally outside.
Saw what I liked, right? And then popped up to me with something I liked, and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually really sweet. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I just like stalkers. I don't know. I don't know what
Maybe
that's
just
saying
putting
about
a level
me.
of effort in.
No, but that's what I mean. And I noticed that, and I give him time of day. I was like, okay, this rather than a
Where is
hey,
that guy
what
now?
do you do for fun? Do you know what I mean? Like, you have so many of them. It's just, where's that guy now? I don't know. Actually, I think I got busy. That's really bad.
Did he give up? No, listen, it's your life. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's your life. Listen, it's your life. You can.
No, yeah, but that's really sweet. Do you know what I mean? Like, if when you're
Is it or
thoughtful.
is it low key manipulative? Like, I know what a girl wants to hear, so I'll say it to her. Isn't
but
it
this
borderline?
was
It's
sweet.
smart. It is
This
smart.
was sweet. This was about like architecture or something.
I think my number one tip for any guy or
But
girl.
don't use architecture as a thing. I'm sick of it. Anyone?
My number one tip for any guy or girl that wants to speak is actually to listen, because most of the time, if you listen, the conversation will flow. So if she says something like, my day was busy, maybe ask her why it was busy, instead of trying to,
Even if you don't care.
yeah, you got to communicate with people.
Just go for it. No, that's true what you said about like listening, because my ex, the way we started talking was that the whole chase thing. Like I wasn't like not fond of him, but I didn't want anything, to be fair. It's one of them where, you know, when you don't want something and then it just happens.
Oh yeah, been there, done that, failed at that as well. But
It's fine, you live and you learn. But
living my best life.
he talked to me, and then I ignored because I was like, I really don't want anything. I'll be polite, but I don't want anything, right? Kept talking to me, and then eventually, I don't know how, one day I opened the conversation and I was like, you know what, let's just talk, because he's being really sweet, and I got nothing on. We talked, literally, he was just a very good listener, like, and that's how, like, the conversation, like, we started talking, like, 24 hours, literally.
Right, are you gonna sleep?
Okay, fine, let's say, like, 20 hours. No, but, like, it was early hours in the morning, like,
One of
every
them.
day, all day. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't go dead as well. You have some dudes start proper dead as well. But I feel
Yeah.
like those are the ones.
Girls can be dead as well, especially girls that just rely on their looks.
Yeah. There's a few guys that rely on their looks on
I definitely definitely.
All of you start laughing.
What book is that?
This book.
Read
What's
out to
that?
us.
Man's Are from Mars. Women's
Oh.
Are from Venice. You have to read this book. It's good
Oh,
for
I
you.
like
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus,
Yes.
and that talks about the differences. Okay.
Oh,
It's
I
so
see. Allah's giving us a ghost.
Allah gave me really
Allah
good.
should be in here.
Allah
Did
didn't
you
want
know
to
it
be
was
in
Allah
here.
was just eating her Greg's.
Yeah. I remember you said to me, we were just sat down talking, and you were like, sometimes men need to retreat to their cave, metaphorically, just to be away from things. They also need to let go of things physically, because when you have that stress hormone, for a woman, you can talk and let it out, and you feel okay. But for men, we have to physically do something. That's why so many guys hit the gym after a breakup. But that's how you know I'm different. I didn't even do that. But the point
I
is,
did that.
was it good? It worked.
Everyone
Didn't
was like, "Oh, you've been 3 years and not shown anything," and I was like, "Mate, trust me, I feel good." Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I did that, and it did
There's a
feel
different
good.
outlet. Also, your body can only do so many things. If you go home tired, I don't care how in love you are, you're going to drop on your bed. And all of it, in a way, you kind of almost like forget the idea that you're in love.
Gym's like the whole thing of like tiring yourself out completely. You're putting that focus and attention into something else. You're putting it
Yeah.
into you. You know what I mean?
And your body has to recruit that muscle,
Yeah.
which takes time, energy, food.
It's like this TikTok I saw. It was kind of cringy, but I kind of like applauded the girl for her effort. But like she was like, "Oh, my heart hurts so bad. Like I figured if one, I think she said if one muscle was gonna hurt this much, let it be my whole body." That's what she
Oh,
said.
that's corny.
That's-
but I like it.
No, but do you understand what I
I
mean?
like
Like it's
it, I like
cheesy,
it.
but it's so cute. Like she was going through it. Do you know what I mean? But I see people like crying in the middle of the sets, and oh, it's so bad.
It's not. It's mostly girls, isn't it? They're prone to that breakdown, and
I've seen guys do it as well. You know, we forget how sensitive guys are.
men are very sensitive. I.
The ones that are sensitive, oh my god, it's nice.
But then
to
there's a
see.
difference between being sensitive and being emotionally in touch. Like one of the things that you said to me when we first met was like, wow, you're actually in touch with your emotions. I am, but that doesn't mean I ever broke down in front of you. That doesn't mean I went home to break down. But that just meant I understand from an emotional side. I think for me, it's because being raised with just my mother,
That's
being
what
around
we're
women
saying.
so
Yeah,
much,
that's what we're saying. Yeah.
it's helped me, and not to sound cocky, but this is facts. When I am pursuing a girl, the fact that I'm emotionally available actually helps me, because I can have conversations most guys either would find corny or they wouldn't, and I always get complimented on that by
Our
girls.
lot are kind of like, I know our friend group is kind of like, we're very tight, as in like we just talk about things.
In the friend
it's
group,
not-
without mentioning names, I think there might be two of us that are emotionally available. One of us definitely isn't. He was dressed like an ISIS member for Halloween. The Fashion Nova, I don't know how emotionally available he is. Most of the time he actually...
He's just chill. He's a good guy in it. It's
Yeah.
just-
And then our future architectural leader in practice, I think he pretends like
he's
he's...
deep though.
Yeah, he's deep. He just pretends
though.
like he's
We
not.
like him, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's me who I just wear my heart on my sleeve, man. Like I don't give a shit.
And I'm just very honest about everything, and I'll
Yeah.
just say it how it is. Allah just doesn't give a crap.
Yeah.
Like,
Olive's the smart one.
Allah's what we should have been, but
Yeah. Here we are.
she's in the corner just laughing away. Like,
But I just don't.
no, yeah, I feel like different people are emotional with things. Like, I feel like,
Also, bear in mind, by the way, you guys met me at a very emotional stage.
yeah.
It was just, I couldn't do anything about that. I was just the time. But when it started to affect my uni, that's when I made that move, like without getting into deal, because I needed that for myself. I was like, you know what? If this isn't gonna work, then I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then whatever happens from there, it's not that my chapter's closed. The ball is no longer in my court.
Yeah.
And I agree
But
with
you
that
did what you
wholeheartedly.
could. You did what you could.
No,
and
I
so
did. I think there were. Do you know what it is? It's like. So I was listening to Gad Saad. He's a Lebanese behavioral psychologist,
Yeah.
evolutionary psychologist, and he talks about how like one thing that sometimes a woman will find attractive or a guy kind of has to do in those rough moments is kind of do something that you know no one else will. So that's why I kind of went levels with my, because I can't fuck up and then do something very general. Do you know what I'm trying to
It's a
say?
bit shit.
And do you know the example that he gives? Obviously, I can't amount to this, but the example he gave on Joe Rogan's podcast, I think, if I'm correct, he talked about what Kobe did after his wife was about to leave him. He went levels, like we're talking about a diamond, like. But to him, what he said was, there's a name for it, but he said that elevates Kobe to alpha level, because what you're saying is, what I just did, no other man can match.
Exactly, yeah.
Do
But
you
that's
know
what
what I
I
mean?
said. If there's like an individual like quality about a dude,
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna find it attractive and you're like, I want this one. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even simple shit, I'm sorry, like even in the, like, let's say talking stages or even before that, let's say there was a guy, like most guys don't walk you home, right? But you're different, right? Because
I'm
like,
different breed.
I mean, no, because you have your moment.
But then can
do
I
you know
just
what I mean?
can I just say, right, like by working on yourself you attract better people and you're more likely to
said.
have better relationships. So okay, my relationship was in the past tense, I get it. But I don't regret the person I dated. But I also believe
No.
the person was a reflection on me. The people you end up with are a reflection on you. So if you're
Yeah.
attracting better people, it's a compliment to you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm trying to say?
yeah.
Okay.
Simple things, like it's just like manners in a guy, innit? Like if a guy, like, let's say it's dark at night, he walks you home, you're gonna find that attractive. Like
Yeah.
even stuff like, I know guys, like they've just been friends, and like that's fine, but like held my bag. Do you know what I mean? Like that's so nice. Or got in the door. Do you know what I mean?
Chivalry.
Yeah. Like
Why do you
it's-
think chivalry is dead? Is it because of feminism?
Yeah, I'm not really
Partly.
a feminist. I'm not a feminist, so yeah, I think feminism. No, I feel like feminism is gone to shit right now, and I feel like people want to use toxic masculinity as,
For
do you know what I
everything,
mean? Yeah,
almost.
for everything. Like there can be toxic masculinity,
They can also be
but-
healthy
but I
masculinity.
think no, but I feel like masculinity, everyone's made it as something negative, and I feel like you wanna dumb down men, and I'm not really for
Can I
that.
just say something?
Because, sorry, one last thing.
Go on, no, sorry.
The most important man in my life is my dad, right?
Shout out to your
And
dad.
he was, and he's the most, like, manliest man on the planet, right? But because he used that in a way to be, like, loving, caring, right? Because men can be, obviously. The best of men are. That makes me want, like, that in somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
But can I just say, in a sense, not all girls have that good figure in their life like you have.
Yeah.
So that's why they can maybe go for the wrong men or not know
100%.
the good signs. Actually, some girls, I'll take it a step further, their relationships can be so burdened, like with their fathers, that they will try to almost avoid. So, for example, I know Middle Eastern girls who will say, I'll do anything but marry a Middle Eastern person.
Yes.
That's not because we're all trash. It's literally because
your dad's like
your
that.
dads or your uncles or your brothers have given you a bad example.
Yeah, 100%.
So
But no, what I was saying was like,
good parenting is.
it's so.
People talk about privilege in terms of money. The best privilege you can have growing up is good parenting, or actually having parents.
It's what we always say. You become a product of your environment.
Yeah,
So
for good or for worse. And you don't wake up to your because I've taken bad things from my environment and good things, but you don't wake up to the bad things until it bites you in the face.
exactly. Yeah.
And then you're like, right, now what do I do? And it's almost too late. You gotta live when you learn, like you always say to me.
Like,
Keep
You
it
know-
moving.
like we were talking about men. Like you can. I don't think being manly is an issue. It's so attractive. Like, chivalry is dead, right? But the odd ones are there.
Is
You
it?
know what I mean?
I'm not dead with me.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, that's what I said. Like you're different in it, but. Most guys are very, like, I don't know, they're immature, and well, when they grow up,
No social skills.
that's literally down to it.
It's kind of.
I
Firstly,
feel like you need a good relationship with your dad as well as a dude. 100%. Like you need to be your dad's best mate to learn that respect as well.
I'm not even gonna comment on
No, but okay, my dad did not have it, but he had his mum telling him, "Oh, you know what? I'm feeling this way."
that.
Do you
So
know
this
what I
is
mean?
the same thing for me. My
Yeah.
mum had to.
Yeah, but
My
that's
mum
what
would
I
always
mean.
make this
like
joke.
you had that figure. Yeah,
My mum
that's
would
it.
always make this joke. She was like, if you disrespect your wife, I'll come at you first, even before she does.
Yeah, I've
Um,
heard that before as well.
But what was I going to say? You know how we're talking about masculinity and people saying masculinity is toxic? But I'm not really seeing many girls get with non-masculine guys, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Look at the dating pool.
I do. Oh my god, I see so many, and I think, why are you with that?
Do you think so?
Yeah.
So tell me why I'm wrong. Go on.
You're not wrong, right? But I feel like there are girls out there that are dating guys that are very like, they don't own up to like what a man is. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not. I feel like they're not comfy as well. Like they don't.
No alpha personality.
Some of my, not even mates, like acquaintances are like that. Like literally, they're with people that you wouldn't think like they have a presence. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's nice when a guy has a presence. There's
I'll
a
be
difference
honest.
between being arrogant and just being comfy in who you are. Do you know what I mean? Arrogance is unattractive as hell.
I'll be honest, I feel like these days being an alpha is almost a disadvantage because you come across as a brute. And actually, even Robert Greene talks about this in his book, In the Art of Seduction. He says, you can't come across as a brute these days. People are too sensitive. So I'm, to go off on a tangent a bit
Yeah.
more, I can be quite confrontational. I can be quite,
But when it's needed.
right. But at the same time,
Not
I
all
do,
the time. You're not
No,
like,
no,
let
no,
me
no,
have a
no.
kick off. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, no, I'm
That's
not
what I
like
mean,
that. You guys have seen me even 2 hours before a deadline. I've got the most energy on the planet. So it's like what I'm trying to say is though, I've actually experienced moments in which I feel like because I kind of naturally have that energy, I can be a bit more confrontational than the average guy. I almost get that masculinity label negative way
Yeah.
if perceived in a certain context.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm smiling and joking.
I feel like we can use two examples. Like, Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
I think he's an alpha male. Like, I think he's amazing. Like, he's so... Also,
He
the
is.
guys that are so comfy and, like, loving their, like, other half. He'll go on, like, let's say Graham Norton, talk about his wife for them.
Yeah.
Say,
I
oh...
respect that.
Like, I love that. Like, he's not afraid. He talks about his work ethic, how he is so chill and laid back. Another one is, like, Khabib. If you want to know the difference between, like, an alpha male and someone who's arrogant as fuck, Khabib and Conor. Do you know what I mean?
I knew that was coming.
Connor's so arrogant.
Yeah.
That's why he's a bit... It's like,
And these
what
days
are you
he
doing?
has nothing to show for it.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you doing?
Whereas Khabib is
you're
like,
a
I
mouse.
smash your boy.
Khabib's like, I want to come. Send
Alhamdulillah.
me your location. No, but it's a very like easy example to use. Like, look at the one that's like barking like a chihuahua.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then the other one. That's
Ironically, he's probably in LA right now, in a lady's handbag.
No, and then the other one that's just like he's like a wolf. Do you know what I mean?
But do you not think for Conor it's also ego because he was at the top when Khabib wasn't even around? Because
Gotta
we're talking
maintain it,
about a 2-division champion.
though.
In
Yeah.
Conor. I think for Conor it's ego more than anything else.
100%.
Because
It's all
men-
show as well, because show gets the views as
yeah,
well.
because
so.
men like Conor, this is going to sound contradicting, but men like Conor or Khabib or Ronaldo or any successful athlete actually don't get anywhere without humility. So for example, Michael Jordan is like one of the biggest trash talkers in NBA history. But when you sit down and talk to him, he tells you, I'm always at practice. For every shot I've made, I've missed 10. I got cut from my high school team. It's how you use that. Like sometimes I say to you, I'm like, shit, I think I need to go to the gym. I've got a bit too much energy in me.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to take someone's head off or I'm ready to achieve something. It's about how you channel it. Because even ego can be used to propel you to heights if used properly. Ego could be, you get a better grade than me. I think I'm worthy of a better grade than you, so I start insulting you. Or it could be, next review, I'm gonna do one better.
Exactly, use that energy somewhere else rather than...
It's not easy though. Emotions are hard to get in control of. Remember what I said to you?
Yeah.
I said people who can control their emotions are literally like a superpower.
And that goes back to how your parents raise you.
And most of us from ethnic households come from very emotional households.
No, but okay, so we're very lucky. Like, I'll speak for me and Allah because like
Right.
I know Allah. Like, we were literally talking about this before in the studio. Like, like our parents must have said to us, if you're challenged, leave it up to God. Leave it up to God and let it go. Do you know what I mean? Like, after that, you can't do anything. What can you do? So it's said that thing, you let go of whatever you're feeling. It's like a habit. That's why I say like even religion is important. It's very
Right.
important in like how you are. It's like a manual for your stress, for your emotions. Like that's one way I know my parents have made me like deal with stuff.
So it's showing you an avenue.
Yeah, and then like even in relationships, like if something's not going on, I'm like, you know what? Let me be a good person. Let me be me, because I'm not gonna change for a dude. Do you know what I mean? Like if I've had it where a dude's been like mouthing off to me, I don't say anything. I'm just like, you know what? Let's talk in an hour, calm down, and then come back to me. Still mouthing off, but like it's like I've done my bit. I'm gonna leave it now. I'm not gonna start swearing at you just because you're swearing at me. Like it's not
Yeah.
not a thing. But
That's a good ability to have.
But that's
Really
taught. That's taught. That's what I'm saying. Like if I didn't have parents, like we wouldn't know that. No, we would know that, but it wouldn't be that easy to.
Knowledge isn't understanding. Like I know I shouldn't be emotional, but to understand I shouldn't be emotional, like you kind of have to fall on your face a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like someone like in our profession, someone's like, "It's how you later got a file. You have to do it to know."
You have to exactly.
I
Yeah.
had to fuck up a few times.
I had
to
to
know.
mess up. Oh, what did I do last Friday? You know what I did as well.
I don't remember.
I booked the session for flipping.
Oh, you booked it for next month.
Yeah. No, I booked it for this week, right? And I went in last week. I was like, I've got a session. He was like, she's
No,
got a
you
session.
haven't.
I know. And then he went, you know, that's the third. I was like, no. But yeah, everything's it kind of has to be taught to you. Do you know what I mean?
Or shown.
Or shown.
Kids take in like
My dad,
what do you call it, sponges. Kids are like sponges.
My dad lost his dad at 5. There was no guy in it. Like he had his brothers completely different to him, but he didn't have a father figure to show him like how you're supposed to be a man, how you're supposed to care for your daughters. But I would say he's been very successful in like raising us, because it's not a boasting. I'm just saying like we feel loved. Do you know what I mean? For someone who didn't have a dad.
Exactly.
And this is a
Plus,
proper.
I know how to treat dudes. Like I the only thing I take pride in, or I'm happy about, is how I treat people. Like, I will be shallow to some extent, but it's only the say you want attraction, but like as for caring for
Love is
somebody,
love.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like we know how to love because of my dad. Do you know what I
You
mean?
can see your dad and mom how they treat each other.
Yeah,
They treat each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
And this is how we've been raised.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like you're a reflection of your parents, isn't it?
That's why like most guys who come from an abusive household can take that onto their marriages, and most people who come from a broken household will also take that onto their marriages.
You said something quite important to me. You said
I
How
say a lot
someone-
of things.
how is someone who's come from like abusive like background, abusive household, supposed to like take in genuine love when they've never had it before? Like
And you know, without going into detail, you know exactly why I said that to you.
yeah, it's true.
My
But then
back's
you-
against the ropes.
no, but like it's true in the sense that like you also have to have that like again, if you want to fight for that relationship, you have to have that understanding. Like you have to go back and be like, wait, why are they like that? Let me have a think and be like, okay, if I was in that position, what would I want to hear or what would I want to feel that would allow for them to trust me? Like it's again added weight on someone, but like if you want to do it, you'll do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you one thing when it comes to relationships that I've recently done, and
We've had a fish.
I've literally dropped my ego when confidence was the only thing I had left. And you've seen me do that. I dropped my ego
Yeah.
multiple times. So, but even, it's not a regret because now I've learned how to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you
But
were just,
you know, dropping your ego was the best thing that you did for you.
for me, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I keep saying this, that moment, as low as it was, because you have to hit the bottom to get back up.
We're doing well.
But at the same time, when I say I hit the bottom, I want to be very specific. I mean just emotionally in that moment. I don't mean me as a person. Me as a
Yeah.
person, I'm up there. I keep going.
Yeah.
I just started my masters.
Yeah.
I'm just getting started with this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly earning more.
I'm surprised when you told me you only did it this year. That's sick.
I only started this podcast. Well, it was only the first podcast episode was launched on January the 8th, coinciding with my birthday, and it was done through lockdowns. Now, credit to other people who've been involved throughout the way, but most of it has been me as well, and I'm still out here doing that. And you know what course we have, and you know I've dedicated this whole gate to podcasting.
Yeah.
I was in here this morning trying to record another podcast. I recorded one on Thursday, and I've got one on Friday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can only see myself going up from where I was. But at the same time, I understand that it was more complicated than that. I would say that I certainly wasn't someone who was told, you're not successful enough, I'm leaving you. That had nothing to do with...
You know what it is
with
when
that
you
situation.
when you find the right girl for you or right dude for you, I'm sorry, anyone will do anything for you. Like it'll just be a 50-50.
Yeah, you said that, and it didn't resonate with me at the time.
Yeah, because I don't know. I think it's because like I felt that before. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there comes a point where you have that kind of love, where you will. It's flipping cheesy as shit, but you will do like it's like having a best mate. Like me and you, right? Obviously we're not in a relationship together, but like I know I'll do anything for her just because like I feel it, and she'll do. Do you know what I mean? Like we're like sisters at this
But
point.
there's trust as well, isn't there? There's love and trust.
That's why
Yeah,
trust.
that's what it is.
the main
So
thing.
Trust is everything, isn't it?
comfort, communication, reassurance, all these things, respect. If you got them, communication is literally key. It is key. If you can never over communicate. I don't think you can, right? And it becomes annoying, but you'd rather have that than someone not communicate at all. Because I've had both ends of the stick, and I don't really care for over communicating because it shows someone cares. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, anyone will do anything for you if they're that into you. Do you know what I mean?
Let's talk about something that my previous guest actually is really big on. And you mentioned it earlier, self-love. Because it's a really big selling point these days. People want to market self-love books, love yourself before a relationship, which I agree with. But where do you stand on that?
I think you have to be comfy in who you are. And when I say that, I
But
mean,
I'm
like, you have to
comfy in who I am, but that
you have
doesn't
to
mean I love
respect it.
myself.
Yeah, but no, as in, I mean, okay. So comfy in everything. So comfy in your appearance, your manner, how you treat people. How you treat people is one of the biggest things because that is, like, I will look at if I'm going out with a dude, I've never really gone out on a date with a dude like that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
But no, but I'm sorry, you're gonna look at how the person treats the waiter. Do you understand what I mean? Or
Small things, mannerisms.
you know, also the whole thing like about like paying. Like I'll offer and I'll pay. It's not that deep for me. Like I know girls are like guys have to pay, alright, whatever. I know it's traditional, right? Some guys prefer that as well, which I don't really mind. But I'm saying like I don't have an issue with paying, but it's like it's attractive if a guy just pulls his wallet out and he's like, no. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like you care, but it's also attractive if a girl offers. If you just sat there, like, do you understand what I mean? It's a bit like okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think these days with everything being leveled out, whether it's like financial, women financially these days are just as stable as men. So, like going back to your
You
point,
shouldn't
as a
expect-
man, I genuinely would not mind paying constantly, but I would, in the back of my mind, expect her to chip in because I'd be like, okay, things are
50-50.
different these days. We're not in the
Yeah.
60s, we're not in the 50s.
yeah, 100%.
You know, you're not a housewife.
yeah.
That's not what you've been made
It's
for.
different if you were a housewife, then that's fine. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but then your man has the absolute obligation.
Then you're doing the full time thing at home, and then he can just like, because
Yeah.
you've come to that thing of, oh, I'll look after this end.
Why
you
are
look after-
marriages breaking apart? Because they are.
I think people are giving up easily.
Because
They're not patient.
lack of patience.
Mm-hmm.
So Alice has lack of patience. Why though?
I think it's comparisons as well with other people, other relationships.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Do you think social media fucks that up?
100%.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Like, let's be honest. You know, all of our parents, probably not yours, because is your mum quite young? Or is she?
Well, yeah. In comparison, my mum had me at 20, but
Yes,
she's not from
quite
the
young.
social media era. Definitely
Yes, no. So like, I was just gonna say, like, all of our parents, let's say they were arranged,
not. Not arranged, but no.
introduced. No.
Introduced, yes.
Yes,
So it's
so,
not like my
yeah.
mum had 100 men to choose from.
yeah.
Yeah. I get what you. It's not like for example the modern girl who actually does have 100 men to choose from.
Like I know, like our family probably arranged in it, so they worked out. No social media.
No, but they had patience. Beyond.
That's what I mean.
But then I still think it comes down to the individual because a lot of, and I can only speak for my culture, a lot of marriages from 20, 30 years ago, some of them are still around because there's a taboo on the idea of being divorced, not because they still love each other. That's one thing we have to mention. A lot of men from previous generations do not know how to show love, do not know how to show men, and are toxic
Yeah.
with their
But the
masculinity
women are very
because they're
patient.
controlling.
Yeah, the women.
But then, how patient should a woman be? That's the question.
You shouldn't let you lose your respect for a dude. I don't think.
But then, when you do, is that where it ends?
But honestly,
think
the
it should
mans
be.
are respectful. Like
Yeah.
all mans are respectful.
The men are respectful
Like all.
because they come from that generation.
Depends. No, I think it depends. Like
No.
I know my dad is respectful towards women, but like some are horrible. They treat the women like shit. But what I'm saying is like I think you should draw a line if it's like if you feel lesser than your husband, then you should draw a line.
Lesser in what sense?
Like even in stuff like if someone's talking to you and you feel lesser, like you'll start to feel a bit like it grows. It doesn't start at that point where it's like, oh, I feel small. Do you know what I mean? It builds up. Do you know that thing of, oh, women get over someone whilst they're still there in a relationship, whereas men, they feel worse after a breakup because their breakup is then. A woman's breakup is while she's going through the relationship. Do you know what I mean?
I was actually going to say that to you. Girls do that. Girls do fall out of love before actually leaving
They
the
don't even
relationship.
realise it, yeah. Like, sometimes it's when a girl's too patient. So you'll be falling out of love and you'll still be patient.
Someone said to me, a female friend of mine said to me, every time I went back to him, it's like I left a part of me.
Yeah.
To a point where after X amount of mistakes, there was no part of me left to give him anymore.
Yeah. So it's like that thing of...
But this guy was fucking up big time.
You should have... Yeah, it's hard to leave, though. I don't even blame her, but it's very hard to leave, like, a situation that you want to be in, because no, who wants to leave? Do you know what I mean? But that's where I say 50-50. If your guy's not giving you 50-50...
Leave.
But a relationship can end for many reasons. Like, it's not even about giving 50-50. Could just be mistakes, get repetitive, lack of patience.
Yeah, but if you don't respect... If you respect your other half, you will respect their wishes. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, mistakes... If you've let someone know, let's say, right? If...
Do you think there's levels to mistakes? Certain things that are unforgivable, certain things that should be forgiven with patience. Like, I'll give you two examples.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we're not even going to discuss this. A cheater probably shouldn't be stayed with in the slightest, because that's a very conscious decision. There's a lot of steps that go into cheating.
Yeah.
So it's not. But then, what if it's a lack of impatience? What if it's emotions? Emotions are a big thing. How would you respond to a man that is giving you the 50-50, that you know loves you, that you know will actually bend over backwards for you, but then it's too emotional in the moment?
No, but it depends. If it's stuff like, oh, you're kicking off and you're being disrespectful, that's
But you always kick off in relationships. Marriages
Not
don't last
necessarily.
because they spend 10 years not
necessarily.
fighting.
No, I feel like you kick off at the start and then you eventually start to, in long-term relationships.
Wait, I think it's the opposite.
But I feel like sometimes when you're starting to get to know each other, you kick off a lot. Then you start to get to know how to handle the kickoffs, right? And then when it's fizzling out, then you just kick off all the time, and then you're like, whatever. Do you know what I
I
mean?
have to disagree. I think the early honeymoon phase it can't go wrong because you're too busy. You're lost in them, like you're lost in their eyes.
If there's certain matters, like I've had it, like if there's certain matters that matter to you, you will kick off. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But it'll be rare, but it'll be big. But what I was saying was what did you ask me? It was like such a good question. I forgot.
I don't know. What did I ask you?
I know, we just started talking.
I think I talked about why marriages were collapsing. Did I?
No, after that, I forgot. See, this is when we get talking, we just
We go
talk.
off on tangents.
I know. No, but yeah.
That's that good chemistry.
Yeah. What was it? Oh yeah. So. A mistake. Oh yeah. So basically.
Oh yeah. The levels of mistakes.
If it's stuff like kicking off and he's disrespected you, I guess you can forgive that. If it's stuff like cheating or like going behind your back or lying about something, I'm sorry. Once a lie, always a lie. Because like if you have one lie, you gotta cover it up with another, then another, then another.
It spirals out. It's a snowball effect.
Exactly. And if you lie once, I'm sorry, for someone who's an overthinker, your trust is gone. That's never coming back. I'm sorry, because you constantly overthink. Your mind finds ways to overthink unless someone is giving you. If you lie once, you gotta be prepared to give someone 150% to trust you again. Do you know what I mean? You gotta give them more than the minimum for them to trust you again. I'm sorry, that's just how it works, because we're all overthinkers. Do you know what I mean?
But that's also something I've noticed within myself. I'm quite an overthinker, and sometimes that
That's normal.
ruins things.
No, I feel like that's normal.
You see, me and you say it's normal, but most people don't overthink
Because
like me and you do. They don't.
They do, and
They
I know loads of
don't.
guys that do as well. I know
Okay, maybe they
literally
do it
about
behind the scenes.
60%. Yeah, but they won't tell you. We're just very close. That's why I know that you do. Do you know what I mean?
But like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah,
anyway.
but we care.
But for
When
me
do you
it's-
think overthink? You don't overthink for fun. You don't think.
No,
You know what I
obviously.
mean?
I hope not.
No, then you.
But for me, it's like when we talked about this podcast, and I said I would pour my emotion into it. It's not for the sake of it. It's not that I want to sit and vent to the world. It's also because it makes for better art. It makes for better content.
It's real, though, isn't it?
It's real. It has to be real. This is
People
not an
want-
interview. This is a
yeah.
discussion.
Yeah,
I want people to enjoy this because they know that me and you are having a sincere discussion.
yeah.
This is not prepped. Well, how
Yeah.
long have we been going for? We've been going for long enough, and it's not.
Yeah. We could go like longer.
That's the skill, and we are going to go longer. There's a big part that we didn't even mention. There's
What
a
is it?
really big part we didn't even
Why
mention.
is it?
Friendships turning into love affairs.
Oh yeah, here you go.
You kick us off. We've all
What
been
do you
there.
mean? Do you mean like if you're mates with someone and then like they say is this what we were talking about the other day?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
okay. No, but you said it though. Like
I said it
If it's
can
early-
be worth it
yeah, 100% it could be worth it. But it depends, innit? Like
on the person.
yeah. Don't me no, but
Wow, I didn't even say anything.
no, because I remember what you said.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you
No,
went
but
deep
Lawson
quick.
made a good point. Like, if it's early stages of your friendship, I feel like it's fine to
Compromise it in a sense.
yeah.
But then also, here's what I think, right?
Depends though if you think it's worth going for. Anyway, go.
That's the thing. I'll come back to you. Let me drop my opinion. If you are friends with somebody and you find yourself attracted to them in a loving sense, where like I want to date this person, I think you got to be very careful of that because you've already established a friendship, and a friendship is very different to a relationship, obviously. Now, ask yourself why you like this person. Now, there's a lot of sly people out there, guys and girls, who after a year, the reason why they then hit on the girl is because the girl has finally broken up or the guy has finally broken up. So there's that. But I'm talking about it on a deeper level. I'm talking about it on, if I meet somebody, I become friends with her, a few months in where I feel like I know enough about her, if I feel like if she's worth that risk, then I will take it.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah, but
100%
think-
take it.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I won't look back because it almost should be a compliment to the girl whether or not she accepts it, because look, I've not known you that long, so obviously I couldn't come out after a month and say, hey, I like you.
Yeah.
That's even that girl, for whatever reason, would be like, okay, sorry mate, I just met you.
Yeah.
But if you're early stages into a friendship,
Like
and-
less than a year, but more than a few months. That's what it is.
yeah, enough to make a really smart
good
decision.
judgment,
Like I've
yeah.
known you long enough, I've spoken to you for long enough. There's something about you that can we try and take it to another level. But then it gets sticky when,
You don't feel the same.
of course, that's the same in any situation.
But it depends on the person. Like I know if I had a mate that was like, oh, I like you, blah blah blah, I would, just because of how I am as a person, I would make it work afterwards just to be friends. I'd be fine with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're ridiculously social in that sense.
Yeah. No, I'm just very comfy in who I am. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Other people would not. They would be so awkward about it, I think.
Do you think, in a sense, though, if a girl is being awkward about it, it's because she's thinking, why the hell did you ruin our friendship to tell me you liked me after 7-8 months? Do you not think she has a right to say that? Because it's a...
I think most girls just think, oh, how do I be normal without him fancying me more?
Alice
Alice
just come
back
back in. Okay, so feeling
Yeah, so-
harsh.
Yeah. So girls will be like, oh, how do I make this normal without seeming like,
Like, it's hard enough to reject someone, let alone when it's someone you know personally.
yeah. And girls will feel bad about it. So it's a bit like, oh, girls overcompensate after that. I'm sorry. Like, we're talking about basically, if your
Friendship.
friends end up saying, oh, I like you, I would kick off on it.
Yeah, Allah doesn't accept anything.
No.
Or
Allah's one of
cakes.
them.
Cakes at the
Alice,
student
yeah.
life building at 7 p.m.
Allah fully, like, she'll,
No, if I like him, okay, but no.
But then that brings me to my next question then, because you just said if I like him, okay. What made you not show any signs in 6-7 months? Why did he have to come out? Because then you missed
He's
out.
gonna be like, I'm shy. No, you can't use that. Hang on.
I'll be like,
We're all adults
I
now.
don't know, I don't express myself.
You don't express
That's you
yourself.
personally, yeah. No, but I think
I don't know how much
overall-
people can hear you. Do you want to come to the mics? Do you want to turn on the third mic? We have a third mic.
They probably can't hear you.
They probably can't hear you. To an
No,
extent.
but she basically said she doesn't express her emotions. But I think the majority of people, they would have been like, oh, but we're friends. Like, I'll feel awkward. It goes down to that thing of rejection. Girls, they're very scared of rejection, innit? Like,
That's
I
why
know
we
I
don't
would
speak.
be.
Exactly.
yeah, man.
Girls are scared of rejection, so that's why
Yeah.
they don't make the first move.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then guys are expected to make the first move, but they're still scared of rejection. So, but the fact that they're expected to make the first move kind of kicks them into
Look,
it.
I'll say this, right? There was a time many years ago when I did like a friend. It definitely wasn't for all the right reasons. But if it should it ever happen again, then I would know that it came from a mature position. I'm not saying, therefore, the girl has to accept it and say, oh, because you're being mature about it, let's give it a go.
Mm, yeah.
No. I'm just saying that if I ever did hit on a friend, it would be coming from a very mature perspective, saying, I've known you for a while, I think you're this, I think you're that.
Yeah.
I understand we've been friends, but if I'm being honest with you, that's all we could have been in this time period.
Yeah.
I couldn't have just come into your life and be like, let's date, because there's a lot of things that go on in life. People are busy. You can't just date a girl because she's attractive. You can't do that anymore. Like, we have careers that we're preparing for. We have master's degrees to get. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not college. College, you can go to the pretty girl and you have nothing to lose whether or not she says yes or no. You just be upset about it until you find the other pretty girl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? College, you can be friends with someone for like a week and then say, oh, I like you. But you get to uni, you get to the real world. Those words, those actions have consequences on your life.
Yeah.
If you say or pursue the wrong person, you waste many years. So no one should be instantaneously looking at someone saying, hey, I want to date you.
Yeah.
If you do believe in love at first sight and that's you, calm. But otherwise,
yeah.
you kind of have to be not necessarily in a friend zone, in an acquaintance zone for a while.
I believe in like infatuation at first sight, but I don't believe in love.
You're infatuated with somebody.
Yeah.
You don't believe in love?
No, I do, but not at first sight.
Oh, no, of course not. No,
I
no.
don't know.
I was just using that as
maybe
a
in movies
cliche.
or something.
Yeah, well, movies aren't attractive.
What
It's
are you
like that
doing?
meme where the girl says to the cab driver, oh, take me home. And she expects it to be like a movie. The cab driver's like, lady, I don't know where the fuck you live.
Oh, you know what's funny?
Go on.
You know my sister, sorry, when my dad had a heart attack, right? My sister went to some random nurse and she goes to him, do you know where my dad is? And I looked at him and I just looked at her and I said it in Hindi. I was like, how's he supposed to know who your dad is? So he started laughing and he goes, sorry, who's your dad? I was like, what the heck?
Those are stupid movies. But I haven't grilled you enough on the friendship thing.
Go on.
How would you feel if a guy did it in a very random way? So let's
What's
say a
random,
guy.
though?
Okay, that's my point.
Like, you know
If you-
what? Say it like as if like a random way would be.
Should I?
Yeah.
No, not yet. It's peak, yo. What I'm trying to say is, though, if you've known a guy for a whole year, he's never expressed himself in any sense towards you, whether it's just by telling you he likes you as a person or attractiveness. If it completely comes out the blue, how do you take it then? Because that is fucked up. That's a curveball.
No, but I know me personally, I'll be like, okay, wait a minute. How long have you been feeling like this? And I've never got this from you. Why
Yeah.
haven't you said it? And then if I felt the same way, then I'd be like, okay, let's
That
pursue
brings
it.
you back to my same flipping point. If you felt the same way for a year, why didn't you say anything?
Oh no, but me, it's rejection. Me, it's just yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because
You
we've
don't
had
seem like-
rejection before.
Everyone's had rejection. I remember this one girl.
I
I
can't
was
take
in-
it. No, I can't take it, but it's a bit like it's just a waste of time. No,
I was in second year uni, right? I remember this one girl that I dated a couple of times. She dropped dead gorgeous. And as we were dating, I made my feelings known. So then it became turbulent. Then it became confusing. Did she like me? Did she not like me? She was back and forth. We were back and forth. We would sit with each other, talk to each other, then not for the next week. We were young, right?
Yeah.
We were young. But then this girl who's literally dropped dead gorgeous, one day she called me and said someone, later down the line, someone rejected her. And I'm not going to lie, I guess I was just naive. I was like, she got rejected. It was like, she can get rejected, then it's okay for me to get rejected.
Oh, I like that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I not in a sense that Because for some reason, I used to think pretty girls are immune to rejection.
Nah, man.
Like, I thought it's not possible. How do you turn down a pretty girl? But apparently,
Yeah.
and then later down the line, we've all done that. We've all rejected people. But it's those early experiences.
I feel like, I'm sorry, even the prettiest girls are the prettiest guys. Like, you know, if you know what to say,
Mhm.
you can have some wiggle room in the conversation. Like, to
Oh,
get
no,
to
there's
know
no such
someone.
thing as someone being out your league. I don't believe in that. I don't believe there's single... I mean, Rihanna's out my league, but that's about it.
I love Rihanna.
Just Riri.
But, no, I think Tom Hardy would be on my league.
Tom Hardy's out your league. Just say it a bit louder for Tom Hardy to hear it.
Tom Hardy is on. Nah, man, he's married, he's happy. But,
He's Venom. Why wouldn't he be happy?
beautiful. Anyway, but yeah, no. Oh, we all like alpha males, like, do you know what I mean?
You have to be. You have to be.
Yeah.
Men have to be successful, I think. Men have to be...
I
don't
like
have- they don't have-
passive aggressive men though, I think.
You like problems.
No, not even passive aggressive. That's not even the right word because that is problems. I think I mean very confident men,
That's not
that's not passive aggressive. But to me,
Man.
yeah, like you know what you want. Say
Especially
because
because we come from ethnic households. innit?
yeah, man.
Like,
Yeah, that's what it is.
The guy
So,
who can walk in a room and demand attention without saying a word.
Oh, it's that thing in it. Someone's walk can be attractive. You can find that weird. But when a guy walks into a space and he's very
That
confident.
means Raheem Sterling is the least attractive person on the planet.
Well, possibly.
The way he runs. Sorry, I had to put that in.
No, but like, it's like Matthew McConaughey. Even how he sits, he'll sit like
His posture.
he'll sit like this and
Yeah.
he'll talk like this. Like it's. Do you know what I mean?
She's
Like it's-
describing me. No, you literally
He's
went back
literally-
like this.
He's literally sat. Oh god, this
Yeah.
is so comfortable.
That fucks up my knee. I can't do that
He's
one.
like this and then he's like this and he's like.
Relaxed. And in a
Yes,
position of strength.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Like if a guy's relaxed, like you feel safe.
Body
around
language
him.
is everything.
Yeah.
Body language is everything.
Oh, yeah. There's a book called The 5 Love Languages.
The 5
what
love
have you been
languages.
reading?
What have you been reading?
Allah's,
When you're getting
we
married.
know that Allah's like not. She doesn't express her emotions, but she reads and expresses.
I do read books about relationships.
Really?
Hmm?
Whoa, that's a new thing that we.
Remember that book I sent you, Robert Greene, The Art of Seduction? That's a really big one.
I was looking for translation.
It's amazing. Because
Do you read them in Arabic? Oh,
It's
that's
all
cool,
updated.
man.
we should do a podcast in Arabic.
Yeah, you
Once I
should.
learn Arabic properly.
I bet you know it.
I can
She needs to know
understand Arabic.
Kurdish or something.
I can understand Arabic really well.
Yeah.
However, speaking it, I've not practiced it enough.
She said to me, right, if literally she could talk in Arabic, she'd be on for days on it.
If I could talk in Arabic.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my
if
next
she
goal.
could like do a podcast in Arabic, though I wouldn't be
But
able to
why couldn't
understand
you?
it then.
Why couldn't you?
Speaking Arabic.
She can.
You can.
Yeah, but I mean, you just said right now that you can't.
Oh, you mean with me? On
Yeah.
here? No, yeah. I need to learn Arabic properly.
Yeah, we
10
need to
years.
get you on that.
It will take about 10 years. The amount of different dialects you have in Arabic is actually mad.
It's pretty though whenever someone speaks Arabic.
Arabic is a beautiful language.
Yeah.
But it depends on dialect as well. I don't know. I like
It depends
the
though. When
Iraqis.
men are screaming, it's not that peaceful. But you know, when women start talking,
When
it's
Egyptian
like,
men are
oh.
screaming, it's scary. No, Egyptians have this rugged voice.
Yeah.
Like
man.
all of them.
Iraqi.
Iraqis as well.
Yeah,
Do I have a rugged voice?
Yeah.
Oh, but do you wanna hear something crazy?
Yeah.
I sound different in Kurdish than I do in English.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking Kurdish.
Do you ever speak
Balimchi.
And like
do a sentence?
a sentence.
باشا ما دمتوا تمني استقصاكم.
Okay.
So like even when I scream and shout in Kurdish, it almost feels like me as a person, the way my mouth and tongue is, it's made for Kurdish rather than English.
Yeah.
And
It's
for me,
very
like my
expressive.
pronunciations as well, like I'll have to practice to say a big word in English, even though I've practically lived there my whole life. But any word in Arabic, do you repeat a sentence now? I'm
But
not
bro,
a native
you're also
Arabic speaker.
dyslexic, so that plays a part in
Oh my god, that's a good one. I am dyslexic. You'd never know looking at my grades and shit. But you would if you read my essays before
I
submission.
know I'm here proofreading them.
Did you actually?
Yeah, she proofread my essay.
I was like, let's change this.
But you liked the essay, you did like the essay.
I did like this.
Rem
To be fair,
Koolhaas.
not many words were all place anyway. So
Did
Rem
you keep the
Koolhaas,
silence?
man. Yeah, he did the last.
Oh, you
That's the
keep
last
it.
line. Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended my essay with a song by Frank Sinatra, who, by the way, if you want to talk about language of love, Frank Sinatra,
Yeah,
his songs
his
are
voice-
beautiful.
His voice.
He dated Marilyn Monroe, you know. I mean, you want to
She,
talk about...
I like her. I think she's pretty, but the person she was isn't that great.
She dated all sorts of people. You know, she
She-
dated
she
the
was a
guy
cheat,
from...
She's a cheat though.
Do you know she dated the guy from the Church of Scientology?
Really?
Yeah, Anton LaVey.
What the hell?
Google Anton LaVey, show Amina. Do you have connection?
No, probably not.
Oh,
But
that's
go
mad.
on.
But yeah, Marilyn Monroe.
No, she's beautiful, and I love her movies and stuff.
I've never seen a Marilyn Monroe movie.
I have. I watched it. I made
Which
myself
one would
sit down.
you recommend?
I think it's called City in Vegas. Not City in Vegas. What's it called? I'll go back and I'll get.
Yeah, let me know about it later. But you didn't give me your distinct opinion on dating friends. You didn't.
Depends on it. If you think they're attractive, I don't think there's any issue with it. So long
Really?
as
After 7 months, that's all it takes?
no.
What if they're
after
attractive,
seven,
but-
sorry, after 7 months is a bit of a piss take. I think no. For me, I set the stone in like.
Would
A
you
year.
rather marry a friend or someone new? Because like
Oh,
to me, I want someone who I want to be friends with, and then I marry someone.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather it be
Yeah.
a friend because I like being comfy. Like I like someone knowing how I am as a person. I feel like I don't hate the talking stage, but I find it easier, obviously, with like them being my friend first, and then, do you know what I mean? Some of the best relationships are when you're friends first.
This is what I keep saying to everybody, and everyone's like, no, you can't date your friend. But then in the same sentence, they'll
Depends,
say,
though.
I want my girlfriend to be like my best friend. So
Yes, I know.
So
Yeah,
it depends
yeah.
on the person.
It
Yeah.
Actually like him.
depends though. Like, you know, if you got really good like chemistry, if you're really good, like I don't see an issue with it. But it depends on it. Some people are at least I guess to know about like.
I think both sides need to give subtle hints to an extent, because you can't completely go oblivious to it for 7-8 months.
You're gonna
You can't.
not agree
Have a
with
friend
me,
or
but you know when two friends are attracted to each other, I don't think you can entirely just be mates.
Right, but then that's what we're talking about. But then how? Where does it go? What do you say? What do you do?
What'd you say? You I don't know. I feel like if you just approached it with a girl and you were like, oh hey, I just wanted to talk to you about something, blah blah blah, that wouldn't be a bad way of going about it.
Wouldn't be a bad way.
No.
Coaching lessons here, 1-to-1.
Nah.
That's the only way, with all due respect. How else are you gonna do it? You're my size. Come here. Yeah? Obviously,
No, but I'm
today
sorry,
is I think in
After
my
you've
heart.
established, no, but girls leave some pointers in it. Like you're not gonna,
Leave some breadcrumbs.
yeah, like no. Also, like you'll know if your friend zoned, proper friend zoned. You know what I mean? Do you not think?
I don't believe in a friend zone.
Do you know?
I've dated friends.
I know, but like
So there's
some friends you.
Here's what other guys have said to me. This is not an opinion that girls necessarily share, but this is what guys have said to me, and actually adults have said this to me as well.
Yeah.
They said there's actually no way of being friends, that a girl is friends with you if she isn't somewhat attracted to you. That's what I've heard.
Really?
That, and recently in a
No.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. Recently, on a more recent experience, I've started to think, yeah, actually, I think I get it. Because just as guys sometimes stick around to try to pretend to be
Yeah.
the friend just to swoop in,
Yeah.
girls do that as well. Just
Some
in more
girls.
manipulative ways, in
You
more
think?
smarter ways.
But me and you are both friends with people like that we're not attracted to. Do you know? I think it's just easier
List them.
with us 'cause
So they'll know.
nah, man, I'm not baiting anyone up. But
Off
You
camera.
like them as a friend.
No, I get you.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be attracted to them because you know the habits, you know how they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'd be like you're
Ah.
fine as a friend. You're fine as a friend, but some of the stuff you say or the way you talk about, even about other girls, that's what you never want to do. If you fancy your girlfriend, right? You never want to sit there and brag about like other girls, you know what I mean? Because no, she's not gonna go with it.
But then at the same time, I would say if I'm perceived to be a guy who can't get girls, I'm also less attractive. So for me to be as attractive as a man, I think it's important that, not important, but look, my opinion is men who don't get attention just don't get it from anyone. They're just perceived as less attractive. End of. It's not about looks.
I don't think so.
I'm wrong? Okay, tell me why I'm wrong.
No, we're just saying from our point of view, like,
Yeah, so tell me why I'm
I
wrong.
wouldn't see anyone as less attractive because of that. I mean, I would find it more attractive, like, that you don't bother with girls, to be fair. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
You know them ones. It's like. Have you ever seen them like memes that are like, "Oh, this is my type," and it's like a guy with like no profile picture. That's what girls like because they know that they're not on there like looking at randoms. You know what I mean? Yeah. He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't care.
But you don't have to. See, okay, that then becomes a bit. That then becomes a bit like what a guy's supposed to do, not put themselves out there. Like I know when I was
we're
in
just
my.
saying our preference is like guys that aren't out
You need
there.
to go to the mosque. That's what your preference is.
Nah. There's guys out
Your
there.
mosque doesn't.
Like, look
Your
at
guy
me.
doesn't have Insta.
No, like look at me. I'm not that out there, right?
No, you're not out there.
But I'm still. Do you know what I mean? No, but do you know.
You
what
get
I
it.
mean?
You know what I mean? Doing it.
Cause-
You're looking though.
No, but like I'm not out
Inside
there.
jokes.
But do you know what I mean? Like I'm not out there, but I
You're not
can't
in
talk
there
to guys.
either.
I can't talk to guys. Do you know what I mean?
So if you can have a profile pic, why is the type of guy you want can't have a
Oh, I
profile
don't
pic?
care. You can have a profile picture, but I'm just saying most guys look clapped in them anyway. Like
Yeah.
guys look better in real life than they do on Insta.
Oh, why that?
But if a guy's taking selfies, that's a no-go.
Or using filters.
Yeah, man, that's a bit.
No, but listen, it depends on the girl, honestly. Like, we're just out here saying those things, but it doesn't matter.
Every girl have
Has
her
preference.
own
Yeah.
style.
And people love what they can't have as well. Let's put that into
Yeah,
the
that
mix.
was me for a good 3 years. Remember? But nah, that's stupid.
Guys are like that as well.
Yeah.
That's why so many
No, guys are like
chase.
that, like on a major, like basically, they won't talk to you while you're like single, but once you get in a relationship, they're like, hi. It's
How
like,
you doing?
it's like, remember me? You're like, no.
Blocked.
I know. But guys do that. I don't know. It's an ego thing. It's literally like, remember me, don't forget me. They
It's
want to
like,
keep you. They don't want you, but they don't want anyone else to have you.
I would say girls are like that.
Weird.
Some girls are like that. Yes.
Girls are girls
I'm sorry,
are worse.
majority of guys that have an
I
ego.
have had. I had a friend say this to me. That we would. Basically. How do I put this? She cock blocked me.
Why?
While at the same time rejecting me a few weeks ago.
What the hell?
Swear to God.
Bro, she's toxic.
Well, yeah, toxic or not, but my point is, I
She's
directly
gonna
had
watch
this.
this like.
I was at uni. I don't think it would matter to her. We'll both sit down and laugh about it. I was at uni, and I remember liking this girl, and I made it clear in both ways, the subtle ways, and eventually I can be a bit, I don't like bullshit. I think you've noticed.
Don't do subtle because I'm sorry. When you think like us two, we don't realize.
I was-
Like,
she's-
you know what I mean?
But here's my
like-
point, right?
Like,
Here's my
just
point.
being nice. Brings you cookies. You're just being nice.
You are gonna get a
You got
marriage
an
proposal.
issue. I know.
But he should know better than to go for a girl that's older than him, especially in the Arabic tradition. I'll say that much
Younger
about that
guys
guy.
like they're like, don't worry.
Baking
She's
cookies
20.
is cute.
She's 23. Don't worry.
I'll go date you, aren't
Her dad's gonna kill me. Don't worry. Joking.
That's fucking pants. Going back to my story time, yeah. So I had a girl cock block me while rejecting me. That
That's
was
too
fucked
much,
up.
man. She's definitely like, no, I don't want you.
But we were also
but I don't
young.
want anybody else to have
Yes,
you.
that's what I'm saying.
She's like flipping Churchill. You know, in the World War posters. He was like, finger wise. He was like this.
What was it? It's like, I need you to fight for your country or something?
Yeah. Conscription. I was like,
We missed anything?
nah, man. Oh, good.
I mean, there is one thing we missed, but I didn't want to be mean about it. I don't want to directly talk about it. Or maybe at a future sense. Maybe we can have him in
Come on
here.
again.
Well, bring him on. I wonder how he'll articulate his speech in a podcast. Basically, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah,
You get me?
you get me.
No, I don't. So I said, no, I don't.
How did that? You gotta tell me off air how it happened.
Yeah.
No, did we miss anything, Allah?
No.
Nice
Alan's been a
conversation.
good addition in this.
Yeah, you have been. One thing though,
If
I
we
will
call him
say.
again- Yeah, go on.
One thing I will say though is I go back to that Chas Palminteri clip that I posted, and I
Yeah.
love Chas Palminteri
Yeah.
so much as an actor, as a person. And listen, he's like over 60. He's obviously going to be experienced. Do you know what I
Calm
mean?
down on the flipping Botox. Anyway, on.
But you know what he said in the clip? He's like, be careful with how easily you throw love away, because you never know when love might not come back. So be careful how you treat that person in your life. You might be making mistakes, but loves you, because you don't know what's out there and you don't know when love will
You
come
sent
back.
me that clip.
I sent you that clip. I posted that clip. I believe in that clip. I posted it on the Flow Podcast account. And yeah, guys, that's the thing. You never know when love might not come back. So go out there, take care of yourselves, try your best, live and learn. Don't be scared of rejection. And men, be confident, all right? Listen, guys,
And if
thank
take
you.
List of books, just let me know.
List of books, there we go. It's been great. Thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Sunset, love, drama, bitches.